师傅，还有线上以及在场的人医，那个慈济家人大家好。那今天我要跟大家讲的是意南段
Today we have Dr. Chen Ruiguang from TIMA Kaohsiung to share with the topic of unstoppable pandemic. Hello everyone, master, board masters and every 师弟 family.
新冠的在到2023年11月那总共有7亿多人
And today I'm going to share with the safeguard the health. More than 3 years have passed since the pandemic. WHO statistics report as of November 2023 has provided that more than 700 million confirmed cases of COVID-19, and about 7 million people have died due to COVID-19, and but they are not as many as before. And this picture illustrates a principle and practice of infectious diseases. As you can see, the vertical axis is the incidence of disease, and the horizontal axis is the time in years. The blue curve is the population antibody. And when a pandemic occurs, no one has antibody against it. And the incidence of the disease is very high. And after recovery from the disease, the population antibody slowly develops. Although the virus will cause another epidemic due to mutation, the incidence of the disease will not be as high as it was at the beginning. The incidence of disease is getting smaller and smaller, and population antibody is getting higher and higher. But mutations will accumulate, and then the virus will undergo a major evolution, or a new virus will appear. At this time, the previous pandemic will be repeated. At this time, no one will have antibody. So a very high wave of disease can be seen. Infectious disease usually occur with a pattern of one major epidemic every 10 years and one minor epidemic every 3 years. Therefore, as community immunity gradually expands, including antibodies generated by natural infection or antibodies produced after vaccination, the number of infections and severe complications will decrease. Starting from March 20th last year, mild cases do not need to be notified. Only moderate and severe cases, that is, those who need oxygen treatment for pneumonia or are hospitalized due to other complications caused by COVID-19, need to be notified. Additionally, the indoor mask order has been lifted. But even so, the mutation of COVID-19 never stops. The current new mutant strain is the Omicron subtype mutant strain. Among the current moderate and severe cases, elderly people over 65 years old account for 78%. In order to reduce the risk of severe illness and death among the elderly after being infected with COVID-19, the elderly are encouraged to get vaccinated against COVID as soon as possible to obtain protection as soon as possible. Since COVID-19 evolved into Omicron mutant strain and the threat has weakened, countries have gradually begun to lift all the prevention restriction and isolation policies during the pandemic period. Taiwan's border has been reopened. And Taiwan Center for Disease Control have found that viral infections led by parainfluenza viruses and respiratory syncytial virus, the RSV, are increasing rapidly. So once pandemic prevention restrictions are lifted, human activity will also increase. The prevention measures such as wearing masks, washing hands frequently, and social distance will not be as strict as in the past. That will lead to an increase in viral infections, which is the so-called immunity debt. And intervention measures take COVID-19 as an example. Pharmaceutical intervention include isolation and quarantine to detect cases in the incubation period, maintain social distance and wear a mask to avoid droplet transmission, hand hygiene to avoid contact transmission. Pharmacological intervention includes the use of antiviral drugs and the intervention of internal medicine-related supportive care. And about 3 weeks after initial detection, the viral loads become undetectable. This marks the end of acute COVID, but also the start of post-acute stage. It's defined the post-COVID-19 syndromes are signs and symptoms that develop during or after an infection consistent with COVID-19, continue for more than 3 months. We call it long COVID. And the symptoms of long COVID include non-specific general fatigue or body aches and poor appetite, or specific symptoms such as central nervous system, like brain fog, depressions, post-traumatic syndromes, and pulmonary symptoms. And breathing, needing oxygen, heart failure, or arrhythmia, skeletal muscle and joint pain, limited movement, blood, and venous thrombosis, gastrointestinal tract, and the diarrhea and abdominal pain, and nausea and vomiting, or the subsequent development of diabetes or decline in kidney function, etc. And the diagnosis of long COVID can first exclude the organic abnormalities and through general blood tests. And if there are relevant abnormalities, and further follow-up treatment needs to be carried out in relevant medicine division. And generally speaking, there is no specific medicine, and treatment and follow-up are based on symptoms. Some research is currently underway on supplementing nutrients like vitamins, minerals, antioxidants such as ginseng and 4+or omega-3 and coenzyme, the Q10 or flavonoid and probiotics, something like that. And and they are in the report. Of course, Chinese, the traditional Chinese medicine can help. In terms of fatigue, it falls into the category of Qi deficiency. in traditional Chinese medicine syndrome differentiation, patients infected with COVID-19 often suffer from lung heat and lung damage, which coincide with the theory of traditional Chinese medicine that in the recovery period after treating febrile disease, both qi and yin are often replenished. And therefore, using the Ruiguang, which is the tiredness prescriptions containing Chinese medicine such as American ginseng and all other Chinese herbs, and which can help replenish qi and nourish yin and achieve the purpose of improving fatigue. And finally, let's use this slide to summarize. Prevention is still the most important, including regular exercise and balanced diet, appropriate personal protective equipment, and vaccination. If unfortunately getting acute COVID-19, there are pharmaceutical treatments available or taking 清冠一号 or Jinshi herbal drink from traditional Chinese medicine to reduce the complications of COVID-19 or the occurrence of long COVID. And as we can see from the above, we are constantly fighting against the epidemic viruses. It is very natural for viruses to accelerate mutation, especially after the lift of the lockdown. Everyone's protective prevention has been relaxed. So influenza, respiratory fusion virus, and even recently the mycoplasma bacteria are waiting for an opportunity to rise. Therefore, how to avoid contracting the epidemic depends entirely on whether everyone is being mindful of personal hygiene, wearing masks, and administer the vaccines. Finally, respond to Master's talk of vegetarian respect and love our earth. That is the only remedy. Thank you for listening. Thank you.
在地或者各地的地方去做服务哈，所以我们真的非常感恩我们的红点医师哈。有时候我忘记，他都提前，他也是我们的一个代表典范，就是提前就从容。我还没有去提醒他，他已经说老师今年度的已经排好了。就像今年2024年，我们已经几乎排满，然后我去约2025年的时候，他们就说。老师不会吧？25年，我说2025年，我说对了，真的是2025年，希望再见。然后你有没有看到我们今天拿的这个爱啊？这是1月3号。
I'm young. I'm just going to take over the presentation now.
你没有挂爱，他真的没有挂爱，真好。
So, Sister Ming was pointing out at the sign that she's holding. It's a love sign, and so since January 3rd, they have started tradition that for all the guest speakers, they have put the little tag, the love sign tag on them. So, Sister Ming was asking people to pay attention to that. So here is a love sign for City's Kaohsiung online study group. So they have the Chinese version and also have the English version. This sign actually was pretty heavy. So
轻拿轻放，就是我们红点师兄这一个部分拿着。如果这两个爱待会要让我们的古语维拿的
someone made the sign for them, and then to make sure that they can show everyone and is representing love.
所以其实这是一种贴心，这种善效应。那也因为呢，
those are pretty heavy. So like, they make sure that be careful with people carrying them around. So this is also a create a ripple effect, and then like the little love sign they have on their collar. there are a lot more people are looking for that little text. So it's kind of like ripple effects, but more and more people are spreading that love. Also today we're very grateful for the sharing for what happened during COVID.